Thank you for tuning into another episode of She Laughs, a podcast dedicated to bringing you honest and transparent viewpoints in this daily faith journey. Now join with me as we listen to T and Crystal discuss the latest.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Crystal.
What's up, everybody? It's Tanisha.
Welcome back to another episode. We back, y'all. Yeah. I'm be honest, this episode might be a little long because I'm a little annoyed. But we gonna get into that in a moment. T, how's your week going?
Struggle. It's been a struggle week. Emotions are everywhere. Still trying to do my best as far as protecting my eye and ear gates.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a struggle. So, yeah, I don't know. That's my honest answer. I don't know.
That's fine. That is fine. It's the truth. And we have committed to telling y'all our true and honest feelings, thoughts, and minds. So,
what about you?
Lord, I would say a little similar, not much. Definitely have been steady trying to protect my own eye gates and ear gates as well as my heart posture.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I can honestly say God has been keeping me extremely focused to shut out all of the noise.
That's good.
He's been literally, it's like if you remember horses in the days, they would put a harness around their eyes. The blinders, so that they couldn't see anything going on behind them, beside them.
That peripheral vision.
What was in front of them. And guys, I'm literally telling y'all, I was like, God, if you got to put the blinders on me right now, by all means do so. So I feel like that's where God really has me right now. And it has really done wonders for my mental stability, as well as just my carnality. Because sometimes your girl want to act out, but we can't.
Right.
So with that being said, he's just like, run the race that is before you. And that is my ultimate goal. And so it is very evident right now. So
all right.
That's how I've been feeling. So, of course, we got quotables.
Oh, I don't have one, child.
Y'all, now this is where I'm going to tell on T and everything. Because before we started, I said, quotables? Of course. I got one. Or I had one. I was like, all right, I don't think I have one. Oh, I do. And now we get on here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. If I said I had one, I was wrong. I don't have one. I don't know what I was thinking at the moment, but I don't have one at all. I've seen a few funny things, but yeah, with all this chaos going on, I really haven't seen much entertaining. Or
what you want to share with the people. That's fine. Mm-mm. However, guys, y'all know I'm going to always come to y'all with the quotables. I got one, not necessarily funny this week, but one to make you think. Once again, I said I had my blinders on. And so the quotable today comes from Mrs. Leslie Dwight. And it says, what if 2020 isn't canceled? What if 2020 is the year we've been waiting for? A year so uncomfortable, so painful, so scary, so raw, that it finally forces us to grow. A year that screams so loud, finally awakening us from our ignorant slumber. A year we finally accept the need for change, declare change, work for change, become the change. A year we finally band together instead of pushing each other further apart. 2020 isn't canceled, but rather the most important year of them all.
Yeah.
And I read that and I realized, guys, we have had more things happen in the first 6 months of this year than I think I have ever seen in all of my 34 years.
Yes, it's been a lot. And I get why people want to throw the whole year away. I mean, from coronavirus and people being laid off and people struggling to pay mortgages and rents and provide food for their family, now to this civil unrest dealing with protests and looting and the continued the continued murder of unarmed Black men by police. It's been a lot. But I said something similar to that post on my own Facebook about the vision that we thought 2020 was going to bring. And it's bring just a new one. Really, how you view the world, how you view your part in the world, and how you view God in the world. And it's been difficult. Like I said, some people have needed surgery, while others have just needed a simple prescription change to their vision. It's been a lot, but a lot doesn't mean throw it away. A lot means there is more to gain from it. There's more to learn from it. And that's how you have to look at difficult times, because they're not in vain. And if you think they're in vain, a lot of the reason why you think they're in vain calls into question whether you believe in God or not.
Yes.
So to the Christian, to the Christ follower, you should not be so ready to throw the year away. Valleys are important just as well as mountains.
Ooh, come on with the word.
So you can't. It's only been 6 months. We don't know how the next 6 months are going to go.
And to the Christ follower, I'll just remind you of what Paul said, that it was for my good.
Yes, Lord.
That I was afflicted.
So
what's on the other side of this? We have no clue.
We are being refined by fire in 2020. So,
and I remember I said the beginning of this year that God was coming after hearts and he was coming after mindsets.
Yes.
And you got to understand, 2020 has coughed up a lot of the stuff that has been hidden beneath the surface of our hearts for years. So you might have thought that you were done with an issue. God literally came in and kicked the habit that you were using to cover that issue up and said, I'm going to take that away and force you to deal with these issues, force you to deal with these mindsets. That is what 2020 has been. And I'm not calling y'all out. Y'all, I'm calling my own self out. There are some things he has called me on that I was like, all right, God, I hear you. Not only do I hear you, but I'm listening.
I'm listening. Yes, I'm listening, really listening this time. And that's really what this year was supposed to be about.
Yes.
Are you really, really listening this time? And are you willing to make the difference?
Yes.
Are you willing to do the change? Are you willing to do the work? And it's not going to be easy. I don't know. We've gotten this
lazy.
Yeah, we lazy. We lazy. We don't want to put in any work. We don't want to put in any effort. It shouldn't be this hard. Anything that is worth having is going to be hard.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's life, period.
I mean, and here's the thing. Y'all, when we say lazy, we're not judging you. Hi, my name is Crystal Charmaine.
We all are lazy. If you don't consider yourself lazy, you're lying.
Yeah, I promise you.
We all are lazy, and we all want things to be easy and quick.
Yes.
But you don't learn that way. You just don't learn that way. Sometimes those hard times are necessary for it to really sink in what the change needs to be.
Yes.
So that's what I say, don't curse your valleys. Don't curse your storms. Don't throw this year away. What have you gained so far in these 6 months? You had to have gained something. I hope you opened your mind and your heart to know what it is you've gained. Even those that have lost tremendously. Yes. There was something in that loss.
Yes. And
I would just say, wait to see what the next 6 months holds. Does that mean it will be better? Not necessarily. It very well could and can get worse.
Yes.
But don't throw the year away, y'all.
Yes.
Is there something about this year that is really, like Crystal said, bringing to the surface a lot of gunk?
Yes.
Because it needs to come out.
Yes.
It's the ugly cough.
Ooh.
You know that ugly cough when you got that phlegm?
Yes.
And you don't want to do that cough? And it's just like, I'm sorry, I just got to
get this out.
I got to get it out.
That is what God is
2020 is the ugly cough. We have got to get this out. and it has to come up and out now.
There you have it. So, T, what are we talking about this week?
Oh man.
Glory, I hope they ready.
So,
I know you done clicked on this episode just by seeing the title.
I'm going to preface this by saying this is the opinion of She Laughs podcast, hosted by Crystal Charmaine and Tanisha Williams. And it is our opinion and our opinion alone.
Yes.
God bless you if you agree. God bless you if you do not. But today's topic, we are going to be talking about those white pastors who have joined the white pastor train of apologies.
Oh, Jesus.
This white pastor apology tour that's going on right now. We're going to talk about a few of them and just our 2 cents on the things that have said, including their apologies, because all of them have apologized. Like I said, it's a tour. So we just want to put our own little
coming to a city near you.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna put our own 2 cents on it, and talk about it, and as well as the white fragility that's going on right now in this country. And me being the wordy that I am, if you aren't sure about what that word means, no problem. I can break it down for you. Now, there is a book called White Fragility.
Yes, it is.
I would definitely suggest that everybody read it, not just white people. But if you are a person of non-coloration, and you want to know,
melanin.
I know, and you want to know how you can better educate yourself, I would definitely suggest that you read this book. Yeah. So the definition of white fragility is discomfort and defensiveness on the part of a white person when confronted by information about racial inequality and injustice. Now, here's the problem. We literally just said we are all lazy, right?
Yes.
We don't want to work hard. If it's too difficult, throw the whole everything away.
Yes.
Relationship, whatever.
Person, job,
all of it. Throw it away. It shouldn't hurt this much. It shouldn't cost this much.
I'm exhausted.
Nothing in life is free. So, here's the problem with white fragility. Racism, slavery, Jim Crow laws, redlining. Those are very touchy subjects. They are uncomfortable subjects to have. But who changes when they're comfortable? I'd love it if you were in a situation where you were hella comfortable and changed. Please DM me.
Show me
that said situation.
I promise you.
Change comes from discomfort. So it makes you uncomfortable, white person, to talk about these things. I understand. Just because we talk about them don't mean we're comfortable, because we have to remember what happened to our ancestors. Some of us not so long down the line in our genealogy and lineage, those who have kept up with it.
Yes.
But the conversation has to be had in order for change to happen. Also, you wanted to be educated, that means we got to talk about it. We can't ignore it or give it a new pretty name and fix the issue. That's not how life works.
Not at all.
Sorry. You're asking for a miracle. Then you're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Your hip hurts, guess what you got to do? Surgery. Unless, like I said, you asking for a miracle. Then that's a whole other topic.
Yeah. But this one's going to require work.
And some of you would like just Jesus to just fix racism like a miracle. Some of y'all just want him to just snap his fingers and breathe on the world.
Like Thanos.
And and we all hold hands and sing
Kumbaya.
And that's not how that works.
No.
God is a confronting God. He is a chastising God.
Yes, he is.
He will hold the mirror up to your face
So you can see
yourself. You see yourself and see what you need to change. You all know this. Again, if you're Christian, it's repeated in the Bible all the time. Tons of parables Jesus preached about, talked about someone changing from discomfort.
Yes.
But yet, you don't want to talk about it. You want to paint a pretty picture. That's a problem. So that is why these white preachers and pastors are on the apology tour that they're on right now.
Oh, God. So, y'all, if you had not heard, we got a couple of pastors that we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about them because they've been in the news. And like we said, it's an apology tour going on, which means it might be at a church near you very soon.
Because if you are under a white pastor, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Here's the thing. And I don't know if you've been following Pastor YPJ, Pastor John Michael McKinney, a few others, even myself, had said, but definitely Pastor YPJ.
Yes.
Mentioned it in December 2019.
Yes.
We didn't know all of this turmoil was going to break out. We ain't know coronavirus was going to break out. We didn't know nothing. And he said it. It's documented. We got the video of it. We'll post it up on our wall. He said in 2019, you are going to see a lot of the racism in a lot of white pastors come out.
Yes.
You are going to see a lot of white people go and be in black churches.
Yes.
You are going to see them sat down and their political influence exposed.
Yes, because that's what it is.
It really is. Y'all, we here. We here. He said that December 31st, 2019. It is June 17th, 2020. And in the last 60 days, I really want to say 30 days, quite frankly.
30 days would probably be yes.
In the last 30 days, we done had not one, not two, but three major
white pastors.
Yes. I'm not gonna say they're canceled because we don't do canceling.
Yes. Sorry, y'all. I know you want to, but Christians are not a part of cancel culture. Christians should not be a part of cancel culture because Christians are about repentance.
Yes. So, since my wonderful sister and co-host has reminded me that I cannot cancel, because I'm going to tell y'all, I'm the one that would have canceled almost all three of them. But I have set them in time out. Some longer than others. Others, you just there for a quick second because I saw your heart. The others of you, your heart is a little questionable. Just gonna call a spade a spade. So, T, who are we gonna talk about first? Rod.
We're going to talk about the Hillsong Church, London senior lead pastor, Pastor Gary Clark.
Let's just go on into it.
So, during a Sunday sermon, that was live on YouTube, he preached about racism as a whole, very, very, very generalized. Again, that white fragility, very generalized. I don't want to actually
say what
pick
it
a side. I want to kind of tiptoe.
Toe the line.
But in that sermon, this is a quote he made that was the problem. It's a race issue, yes. For me, I don't live in the United States. For me to be railing as a pastor about something that's going on in another country, I'm not really sure that's going to help anyone. So, of course, people took issue with that because how can you be preaching and talking about racism and then want to make a distinction of, well, what's going on in America has everything to do with the Americans, nothing to do with me. You're a pastor. You preach Jesus, who loved all. But your concern is, well, that's America. I'm in the UK. That has nothing to do with me. So you let me know that you're okay with being silent.
Yes. Yes.
That's wrong. Especially, again, if you are a follower of Christ who has a whole story about the Good Samaritan.
Come on. Come on with the word.
An entire story about the Good Samaritan.
Yes.
Whom he helped and blessed.
Yes. Yeah.
I really need you guys to look that up and why that is of importance. That you would be a pastor who I'm sure you have preached tons of times about the Good Samaritan.
Yep.
But yet what's happening in America has nothing to do with what's happening in the UK. How is that going to help anyone? So he came with an apology, of course. And his apology reads, I am deeply sorry for the hurt and offense caused from the message I shared on Sunday. During my weekly message, I said that it would not be helpful if I commented on the tragic death of George Floyd in the USA and the systematic racism against African American people. I was wrong, and it hurts me profoundly that I caused offense to many people, including those in our church family. I care deeply about all people and abhor any form of racism or oppression, and my language ignored the fact that just like in America, racism in many forms exists wildly here in the UK. I believe that Black Lives Matter, and as the pastor,
do you really? Oh, okay.
I believe that Black Lives Matter, and as the pastor of a diverse church, I will seek to be part of the solution. It is my overwhelming hope that these sad events will lead to real and lasting change, and that change starts with me. So here's my issue with Pastor Gary Clark, Hillsong UK. What you said the first time was really how you feel.
Thank you.
I don't know how to say this. Lord help me. I am not going to say Black people should not be under white leadership when it comes to being in church.
No.
Because then you're not going to a certain church because of your heart, basically. You're supposed to go where God leads you to go. Mm-hmm. I would definitely ask if anything in that church has led you to believe that the leadership or members of that church view you as a part of the African American community. Because a lot of them don't. Mm-hmm. A lot of them will pick you and your family out and say, well, I don't see you as, really Black.
Or they will make the phrase of, I don't see color, which is a cop-out.
It is one of it. Again, that's that, I don't want to pick a side because I don't want to offend.
Here's the thing, to our Caucasian listeners, and I know it sounds very cute, doesn't it, to say, I don't see color, I just see your heart. Okay, let me explain something to you to why that's a cop-out, okay? God created us, which means he created my color and my skin tone and said, it is good. Just like he created all variations of birds. He said that they were good. If we only had one type of bird, I'm sorry, but you would get tired of seeing a red bird all day, every day, and didn't even know that you could have jewel tones, birds with different colors just in their own. That is how we are uniquely made. There is not one of us on this planet that looks alike. So I need you to stop with the cop out of, I don't see color, because that means you do not see me.
Yes, that's that. Yeah, but when you see me, I hope you see black. I hope you see a black woman. That's not the problem. The problem is what you associate with my color.
Thank you.
That's the issue. So, Gary Clark, I don't believe your apology. The fact that it took you a while before you apologized.
And for another pastor.
The global leader of Hillsong had to make a comment or a statement about your sermon and how disappointed he was at your comments before you came out and apologized. The fact that the entire sermon was taken down from YouTube says something in and of itself.
Yes.
So the entire sermon is removed. You cannot find it now. You cannot find it.
So for me, Gary, you're going to be in timeout for a while. You are. To say, as you said, about you don't see as a pastor that you railing about something that's going on in another country, how you don't really think that that's going to help anyone. I'm going to come from this angle. I'm not even going to come from the angle of you not seeing me and my color. Do we not, in our churches, go on missionary trips? Do we not, as an outreach program, go to countries like Africa?
Yep.
Do we not go to countries like Mexico, Argentina, Belize to go and help them? And we talk and preach in our churches about being a missionary to go and help people. But then you have the audacity, dare I say the unmitigated gall to say me railing about something that's going on in another country. I'm not really sure that's going to help anyone, but you can go and plant what's the word? I built how many of those? The wells. I went out to Argentina and we constructed 10 wells. Why? That's going on in another country. Should they not take care of their own? Why are you railing to your church about going and helping to raise these money for these children because you know they walk 6 miles one way?
You want to teach them about white Jesus is what you want to do.
You don't want to teach them about Christianity or Jesus Christ. You want to teach them your Jesus Christ. You don't care about their brown skin in all of its beauty. You just want to go and show your good works so you can say, my church did. And so, yes, Gary Clark, Crystal Charmaine has set you in time out for an indefinite amount of time. The end. What's next? Who's next?
Next, we have right here in good old, well, you know what? Let's go in order.
Okay.
Rod Parsley. Now, Rod Parsley, I can't remember the church that he was a pastor of. He didn't necessarily say anything wrong.
He's at World Harvest Church.
Yes. He didn't necessarily say anything wrong. His wasn't a full statement. I think the main issue was in his entire monologue, because that's what it was, a monologue about racism. He never wanted to mention Black Lives Matter. It was a monologue. This man started out his talk with giving us memories of him being a child and going on long trips into the deep South with his family and having to go to the white only bathroom and not understanding why it was 3 bathrooms and not just one. And he said it in such a way that it was like, why do you sound like you were the one being oppressed? The segregation wasn't against you, sir. I mean, really, he made it seem like, oh my God, I was a child and I just couldn't understand why I had to go to the white bathroom. You weren't being segregated. You weren't being oppressed. So this whole monologue that you're saying is unnecessary. See, this is why, white pastors, you need someone of color on your boards.
Thank you. Have someone that doesn't look like you. And not just black.
Thank you. You need some diversity because you are not in touch with your people as a whole.
I need black and Mexican.
Yes.
And Asian.
Yes.
I need your board to represent the world that we live in.
Because you don't know anything about these issues. We know that you don't know.
Yes.
You know that you don't know. Could you please put some people of color on your board so they can review these sermons that y'all say? Then you wouldn't have to do the apology tour. You wouldn't have to do it. Come on with some diversity.
Lord.
It shouldn't all be white. It should not all be white. You need some people of color up there.
Please.
Please. Pretty please.
God.
So, Rod, come on. Your apology, I got. I got your apology.
I felt like you just wanted to say something. You was like, I need to say something.
Yes.
I need to say, how do I say this? Because I just feel bad.
And I understand it, and that's fine. That's still part of that white fragility.
Yes.
Coming out with your Silence No More campaign that you're trying to now create. I get it. You no longer want to be silent. Thanks for speaking up. Throw some diversity up in your leadership, please, sir.
Yes, because this could have been avoided had you had someone to actually be like, I know what you're trying to say,
but let's save us the first 30 minutes and let's cut this out.
Because this ain't gonna go good. This ain't gonna go good. And I mean, we understand your intention, but it just, dear God. However, it was not as bad.
Oh, baby.
I just gotta laugh. I mean, oh my goodness. All right. So when I say dear white people, white pastors and white people, okay, understand, we know a lot of y'all are just now waking up. Because some of you want to remain asleep. Others of you really, really thought that, well, the police are doing their job. I mean, it'll come out something and everything. You really were that naive and everything. Here's the thing. How can I say this, Lord? Help me. Help me, Lord. You don't have to always make a public statement. You don't have to. What you can do is go to the people in your church and actually sit down with them and ask them of ways to help them.
Yep.
Rather than going on this apology tour or, well, I just got to say something to the world. No, you don't. How about just going and joining an activism group and saying, what can my church do to help you? So, with that being said, I understand this next person's intent, y'all. I really do. I really do. But once again, this is a serious problem, and we're going to talk about it. So our next contestant,
bring it to the stage,
Pastor Louis Giglio of Louis Giglio of the Passion City Church. Y'all, I have been to this church. The church is beautiful. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Church is beautiful. They do amazing things for the community. All right. However, T, what did Pastor Louis say? Come on, Pastor Louis.
He held a panel, want to call it a panel, on Sunday. I don't know what Sunday. I think it was this past Sunday. at his church with Christian rapper. I know he doesn't like to be called that, but hip hop artist. I say that hip hop artist Lecrae, as well as the CEO of Chick-fil-A, Mr. Dan Cathy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was supposed to be a conversation about, of course, racism in America and how the church can be an effective help dealing with that. And again, this white fragility rolls its little head in this conversation. And Jesus, help me, Lord. So,
this
Pastor,
is the essence of white privilege, by the way, what was said.
Pastor Giglio started his conversation out with, "We understand the curse that was slavery. White people do. And we say that was bad, but we miss the blessing of slavery, that it actually built up the framework for the world that white people live in and lived in." He went on to say that white people have a issue with the term white privilege. Again, that white fragility.
Which lets me know he's had a conversation with his white friends.
And, since people have an issue with the term, that usually it's not the term, it's more of a heart issue. So you can always change the term in a manner to which maybe people understand more.
Or is more palatable to their taste.
Very much so. And he went
y'all.
to say that, maybe we should call it white blessing as opposed to white privilege. He says, "I'm living in the blessing of the curse that happened generationally that allowed me to grow up in Atlanta. The fact that you as a white person want to change the word white privilege into white blessing is the epitome of white privilege." But here is the thing. He ain't lying. He ain't lying. Slavery was a curse, but a blessing to white people.
Yes, it was a blessing then, in the midst of it.
He right. And that's the fact that he said that and said it very correctly shows his ignorance to racism and the systematic racism we deal with as a whole.
Yes.
Because everything he said was true. It was a blessing to white people. An entire infrastructure was built off the backs of slaves. Buildings, inventions, ideas were built off slaves. Income, economic wealth was built off slaves. So absolutely, it's a blessing to white people.
Yes. And y'all have been benefiting for years.
You've been benefiting for years. And it has continued to benefit you to this day. So he ain't lying.
No, not at all. Here's another aspect of what he did that he really did not realize that he did, and Black people were hot about. But I'm going to quote Gerardo Marti, who is a sociologist at Davidson College and the author of American Blind Spot, and she described his comments as a classic slaveholder theology. It displayed an ignorance of what this phrase blessing of slavery meant and how this argument has been made to justify the oppression of Blacks and a God-ordained way of life. She said it makes it out to people's feelings, and that it appeared that he was trying to soften this language because maybe that'll help them to have the attitude change. Here's the thing. I don't care about your attitude change. I don't care how unpalatable it is to your taste buds. The fact of the matter is, God has literally said right now, in this moment, in 2020, here in the earth, he is ripping off the Band-Aid. That means all of your privileges come down. Some of the ones that you did not understand or realize that you had. And I'm sorry it's uncomfortable. But guess what? The blessings are up.
So Giglio had an apology, of course. You know, that's why we're talking about him. He's part of the apology tour. Some of his apology says, I don't, to be clear, believe there is any blessing in slavery.
Do you?
To the contrary,
we're telling you
what I'm trying to understand and help people see is that my white brothers and sisters, we sit in large part where we are today because of the centuries of gross injustice done to our black brothers and sisters. Sir, you can't say you don't believe there was a blessing, but you said, can we look at the blessing? So which one is it? Again, your apology to me was heartfelt because you really had no clue what you said, but you meant what you said.
Yes.
That shows the ignorance
you
have. So don't say you didn't mean it, because you did mean it.
You absolutely
Your
did.
apology should have been, I am ignorant.
Thank you.
To the injustices of my black brothers and sisters.
And don't ask Lecrae to try and teach you.
But black folks, can I say something to us? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we are upset with Lecrae because he didn't speak up.
Come on.
I understand. I get it. We think he should have said XYZ because you know how people are. If it was me, I woulda. Well, sir, ma'am, sis, bruh, it wasn't you.
No.
What you guys aren't realizing is Lecrae has a relationship with this pastor.
He does.
Lecrae has been to Passion City a lot, not just to perform, but he spoke many times. He has preached there. I'm going to call it preaching many times. That is why he was comfortable accepting the invitation to come and speak. Mm-hmm. He has spoken there before. No, he was not there for a prop. He is in a relationship with this pastor.
Yes.
So that is why he went. But black folks are quick to call other black folks props. When honestly, y'all, to me, you jealous because you want to be on TV. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
That's neither here nor there. But
so
it's fact.
He went there because he has a relationship with this man. He felt comfortable to talk about the topic. Now imagine his surprise when someone he knows and probably respects in some manner says something real sideways that they should not have said.
Yes.
It caught him off guard.
Yes. Because y'all, when have we ever heard white privilege and slavery called a blessing?
To our face.
On TV. In front of an audience. I mean, let's be clear. This is the first time ever, at least that I know of, that has been in the news of someone saying, slavery, we have to accept our white blessing from slavery because slavery was a blessing. I'm sorry. Wait, what?
The blessing of slavery. Yes, no. He was caught off guard. He didn't know how to respond. Please stop calling him a coon because he didn't do what you want him to do or you think he should do.
Thank you.
You are not that man. You do not know any of the racial injustice he has endured in the hip hop industry.
Yes, Lord.
Being Christian, having mixed fans.
Yes.
I mean, I am a follower of his, and in his comments, he is always berated by white Christians who follow him anytime he brings up racism.
In his music. And he has been bringing it up a lot. If you have been paying attention to any of his last 3 albums, he has hit it.
Yes. So you don't know what triggers him in that aspect. So we don't know what was going through his mind. So can we not be so? That is being divisive right there. He went there to speak his mind, to have a voice. And in that moment, he didn't know what to say. And y'all will, well, he was agreeing because he was nodding his head. Have you ever not heard of people laughing out of nervousness?
Thank you.
It's literally the same thing.
Thank you.
Just because his head was nodding does not mean he's agreeing. And women, you are the first ones to say, just because a woman in a situation and she laughs doesn't mean she agrees with it. Hello. Same thing.
Well then.
So leave Lecrae alone.
Leave Lecrae alone and everything, because he was the one that had to receive it way harder than the rest of us did. That is someone, like he said, he has a personal relationship with. So now I am sure in his mind, he was like, have you been thinking this entire time we've been friends?
Thank you.
What? Wait.
Yes.
Whoa.
Now I have to reevaluate where our friendship is.
That is why I said, Pastor Louis, you cannot go to Lecrae and ask him to teach you on this. If anything, tell him to send you some books and you go on about your day. But it is not his job now to explain to you what you did wrong.
No, you have members who are right there.
Yes.
Passion City Church is not all white.
It is very much
It is
mixed.
very mixed. It is very mixed through age and everything.
Yes.
So there are people right there in your church that you can sit down with. Again, here's the importance of having some people
on
of
staff.
color in your leadership.
And we say leadership, not just staff, because I need them not to just be the greeters.
That's Thank you. Yes.
I'm talking up there.
Please don't have them just security in your parking lot.
Thank you.
Waving little cones. Okay? I mean leadership. I mean close to you. I mean answer to you when it comes to leadership meetings. Are they on the board of the trustees of your church? Are they over the finance department of your church? That leadership is what I'm talking about. Are they the
ones having the weekly meetings with you and the direction of this church and how it is going to go?
Leadership.
I don't need them to just be over children's church.
Thank you.
Because y'all will do that and be like, well, so-and-so is over on children's church. No.
Not the barista at your cafes inside your church building either.
And here's the thing. Us as Black people will do it and say, well, we're serving the Lord. But I am here to tell you, I need to see diversity on your leadership. Because if I look at you, I don't mind being up under you, white pastor. As long as I see Asian reflected, Indian reflected, Black American reflected, Native American reflected. Because for some reason, y'all think diversity means, well, I have an Irishman and I have a Scottish person and I have someone from England
or Holland
and everything. And we're diverse. And we're looking at you like, yeah, but you like completely missed the memo. Like that's not
what we're talking about. People of much definite different ethnicities, minority ethnicities. Let's be clear.
It's literally like y'all find a loophole for everything. I really feel like that is y'all's gifting as a culture. Y'all find a loophole for taxes. You find a loophole for, all types of stuff. And we're going to, do we have to make it very plain and direct for you? Color.
Minorities. Nah, minorities.
Okay. Dear God, dear Father God, Father God,
that
help us.
Is the White Pastor Apology tour. Now, according to a lot of reports, Giglio has been on this tour before, and it was just very funny that he was at this. That he had the CEO of Chick-fil-A on here. Well, with the whole them and their views on the LGBTQ plus community.
That was very sorry, y'all have so many letters now. We're really trying to
I'm trying to make sure I say the letters, Lord
all
Jesus.
of them is that
but yes, and then Lord is all right. So y'all not gonna like what I say, but it is what it is. Those Christians who mainly want to be silent about racial injustice, but are very vocal.
Lord, I feel you. I feel you. Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, help me.
You're very vocal.
I know where she's going.
When it comes to people's sexual orientation and their rights. Confuse me. Not only are you very vocal about that,
we here now.
You're very vocal about abortion rights. You seem to only vote on who
pro-life.
Child, you are pro-white life. You are pro-white infant life. You are pro-white embryo life, because there's no way you are pro-life and had no issue with tons of children and infants that are still yet in immigration camps and cages while COVID is going on right now. You are not pro-life. You are pro-white embryo life. That is the life you are concerned with.
Jesus. Are y'all still listening? I'm sure some of y'all done clicked off by now. Dear God, because
that's what you vote on. That's who you vote for. As long as that person is for abortions and don't want nobody to have no equal gay rights, that they got your vote.
They got your vote. You know.
Because you don't care about nothing else. But you want your president or any leadership to be Christian. But you care about the rights and views of no one else.
I mean,
but yet you say you follow someone who will leave the 99 for the one.
Yes.
It's a problem.
Yes,
hence
it's a huge
why
problem.
We are in the 2020 we are in now.
It's a huge problem, and this is he is kicking over the rocks and exposing all the snakes and snails and crawly things y'all been hiding. All of us. So it's getting dealt with now. So I really need you to go back and reevaluate why that is. Because some of y'all just have never questioned your upbringing.
No, not at all.
It's, the one thing that kills, Father, the one thing that kills growth a lot of times that I have seen in plethora of church in the white community and the black community too is I was raised this way, I'm going to live this way, I'm going to die this way because it always worked. Because a lot of y'all are out there thinking, well, why are they starting all of this now?
You don't want to be uncomfortable.
What racism? I see them getting jobs. They got that affirmative action. They're guaranteed jobs and placements at schools that they don't even deserve. I mean, yada, yada, yada.
Who church got to get together? You got to get it together. You got to get it together.
But we're not going to end this on a bad note, bashing all of y'all. Because dear white pastors on your apology tour, if you want to look to somebody who is getting it right, look no further, Hillsong Church, than your own leader, Pastor Carl Lentz.
Yes.
Okay? Because Pastor Gary Clark almost ushered Hillsong out of there. Wasn't nobody about to be listening to no Hillsong music.
Yeah, Lord. And I like Hillsong.
Okay? Well, about to be no Oceans playing. Yeah. No, none of that. But Pastor Carl Lentz, I will definitely say we salute you. We thank you. I mean, you came out of the gate supporting and was very clear that, of course, all lives matter because they should. But we're talking about the Black ones because it is the Black ones that do not matter in the streets. And until they matter, all lives do not matter. But that shows, not for Pastor Carl Lentz, the privilege of you all to acknowledge in your slogan that our lives do matter and then fight us when we say it matters.
But he does his part is to surround himself.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Very much so an open community of leadership people to get involved, to understand, to be in the know. He has always been very vocal on his stance in racism and inequality. Very vocal and very direct about who is having the injustice.
Mm-hmm.
Not this little, I don't like racism, it's bad, Jesus love everybody. That's very generalized. Because again, that white fragility, you don't want to step on any toes.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely, please look to Carl Lentz for some direction.
In this season, in this hour.
Call him up.
Have a personal conversation.
Follow him on social media, something.
But understand this, okay? White people in general, white pastors, white people, our white brothers and sisters. There are a lot of us. Now, there are a lot of us that are angry at y'all because it took you so long to wake up. Just going to call a thing a thing. They are angry, and rightfully so, because it is taking y'all years, okay? And some of y'all just didn't want to. But there are those of us that really understand that this is a journey for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think and believe that there is any person on the planet right now that has the end-all answer to racism. We are in this together. It is going to take all of us. Now, while I am not about to sit here and rub your back while you cry your tears about how you're just now finding out about Tulsa and how you're just now finding out how they bombed the African-American group, I think in Philly. And forgive me because I've even forgotten their names exactly right now. Or how you're just now finding out certain aspects of the Black Panther movement, like you didn't know that WIC was developed by the Black Panther movement. But yet you benefit more from it than we do.
That's a word.
Okay. I'm not going to rub your back because you just are now finding all of that out. But what I will do is if you want to send me a text or you want to call and say, hey, can you tell me of any books or any place to go? Because for some reason you don't know how to use Google. I'll send you a list. I'll send you a link. But I do not require, not that I don't require, I don't owe you anything more than that. And to require more of me than that is the essence of white privilege.
Yes.
Final thoughts, T. It's time for our message.
Y'all
message,
get right,
pick it up.
man. The church as a whole needs to get right because we should be leading this charge. But that means we have to deal with the racism that goes on in the church as well. So while it's being called out, pay attention. And let's end this silence. White pastors, please. Speak out. But before you speak out, run that sermon by somebody black, okay? Just run it by him.
Just please.
Pick one. Anyone. Please. Run it by him real quick.
I promise you, it'll take him 2 seconds. He'll know within the first 5 seconds of your sermon whether or not you should go ahead with this.
Yes.
Okay. Well, guys, we love you. We know this was a hard conversation. And guess what? There are plenty of hard conversations in the future. But that's what we're here for.
Yes.
So until next time, T, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me Facebook is Tanisha Williams and Instagram is Styles by Tanisha J.
And as always, guys, you can find me on Facebook at Crystal Charmaine or our Instagram at I am Crystal Charmaine. Until next time, we love you.
Love you guys.
Thanks again for listening. We hope that you were blessed by today's discussion. To keep up with the latest on the She Laughs podcast, be sure to subscribe on most major streaming platforms. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. If you feel led to donate, please send donations to paypal.me/She Laughs. And don't forget to send us your questions as well. We'd love to hear from you. As always, stay blessed.